How's it going tonight, everyone? This is Cobra Kai Studio, and I'm your host, Danielson, and tonight's video is another fan questions video. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with Aaron's comment. My favorite was when Amanda told Johnny and Carmen she was with a different guy in high school. With different guys in high school. Okay, I'm having a brain fart here, Aaron. For some reason, I don't remember this happening. Not saying it didn't, I don't remember this happening. I'm like trying to think, where did I miss this at? Then again, I don't care to pay too much attention to Amanda, so that could very well be it. So, let me know where this is at so I can go back and watch it, because I'm like, like what season and what episode, etc., Aaron. So if you're watching, please feel free to comment, let me know, so I can catch up on that, because I feel lost on that. I'm like, damn it, is there something else that I missed somehow? Even though I've seen the show so many times now, it's like, how does this happen? But, you know, it does sometimes. Sometimes there's things I miss, and you all bring it up, and I'm like, no kidding, huh? Yeah. But we'll go on to the next one from Quiet Lightning. Did Johnny know that Robbie was directly responsible for Miguel's injury at the end of Season 2? The reason why I'm asking, Johnny goes to the hospital because he hears Carmen yell out. Carmen blames him, but never mentions Robbie. He goes to Cobra Kai dojo and leaves. Nobody mentions Robbie's involvement. He goes to the beach and tosses his smartphone. It's so easy to assume that Johnny found out, until one considers this is Johnny Lawrence. Perhaps finding out it was Robbie and that it was Cobra Kai that perpetrated the attack will be what motivates Johnny back to the Cobra Kai dojo in a furious rage. That's an excellent point, Quiet Lightning. Now, I understand what you're saying. You're like, you know, there's like no way, like no like signs of showing that at the time, before Season 2 comes to an end, that Johnny did actually, in a sense, know Robbie's involvement into it. And that would make a lot of sense in how you explain it, because you're right, whenever he, you know, sees Carmen and all that, she doesn't mention anything about Robbie, she blames him. But at the same time, I think the whole point is, even if she knew it was Robbie, I think she would still blame Johnny, only for the fact that Johnny is the one that pretty much coaxed her back into letting him train Miguel. You know, if you remember, he pretty much explained to her he's not going to let nothing serious happen to him again, because after, you know, the whole fight, that she was all upset with him being hurt, you know, in the previous episodes. And it's like, I don't know if we could go off of what Carmen is saying, because I think she would blame him regardless, but I get your point. It's not really like shown or mentioned to Johnny how it actually happened. Now, I would assume maybe someone could have talked to him and kind of explained to him what happened, but at the same time, there's nothing going off of that to actually say for sure that that's what happened, and that indeed he did know that, you know, Robbie caused all this. And the way you're explaining it, that could be a reason for him to go back to the dojo furious, and I kind of like the way you explained it, you know, that he might go back to Cobra Kai dojo in a furious rage, and that might be where we see him get in a fight with Kreese, or, you know, some people speculate Hawk maybe might even join in on this, and it makes a lot of sense. I like that question with your own like way of answering it, and like debating why you ask it and why you felt like that, Quiet Lightning. I like that. That's a lot. That's a hell of a way to go about it. And yeah, I kind of get your point too. I do kind of agree on that it's very possible that could be kind of part of the motive of why Johnny might go crazy and go back to the dojo in a rage. On to the next one from Rick Piper. Miguel went to the office to talk to Tori. She wasn't there, so had to run back to the... Oh, nice. Yeah. I didn't even think about that, Rick. That is a very big possibility of why Miguel did not make it to the whole Sam and Tori fight as quick as Hawk did. Yeah, that would actually make sense. You know, I actually like your answer for that. That's a hell of a way of explaining it, because that's very possible. You know, maybe he was trying to go get Tori to stop the whole situation before it happened. He got there too late, so then, yeah, he had to run and find where they were fighting at. So, yeah, I like your answer to that. That's a hell of a way to answer the question. See, I enjoy when you all provide your answers to these questions as well, because like I said, not everybody's going to think of things the same way, and you might come up with a good answer for that, and I actually like that. I think that's a hell of an answer to actually possibly explain why Miguel showed up late to the Tori and Sam fight. On to the next one from Christopher. Everybody is thinking that's what Daniel said in the trailer. What do you think would have happened? So frustrating how people are so easily swerved. You don't even see his mouth saying those words. I mean, seriously, no, you don't. There is an easy way other studios have done to easily make the fans think one thing, when really it's something else. Actually, Christopher, you're right. I actually thought that too. Like, you hear him say that, but you don't see the corresponding, like, language coming out of his mouth. Like, you don't see it as if that's actually what Daniel said. So you could be on a hell of a point there that it's possible that little clip we hear of Daniel saying something has nothing to do with the actual clip that they showed in the teaser. And you're right, they do throw things in like that on purpose to kind of, like you said, easily sway people to something happening, and then out of nowhere, boom, something else happens. So I appreciate your answer to that. That's a very interesting insight on how you think about that, and I like that. That actually makes a lot of sense, really. It really does. And I kind of thought that too. It doesn't look like Daniel's lips say what they say, like saying that. So it makes kind of sense. It does make sense that, because if you go back and watch the teaser, it doesn't look like it says what do you think would happen. It really don't look like that's what he's saying. It just looks like they threw that in to a different scene. And as you said, it's probably just something that people misconstrued and are taking it in a different way when it has nothing to do with that. And it's very possible. I've seen similar situations in different TV shows. But if it is, then it's like, well, okay. If it isn't, then I guess cool. We'll get to see you soon enough. It's like January 8th's almost here finally. So we are finally going to get our days soon. And then there's like confirmation. If you've seen Bonsai Kai Dojo's more recent videos, he's talked about how there's going to be like a confirmed release date basically for like December of a trailer basically. So we can possibly expect it in December, and we might get another teaser in between. But keep up with all the creators and the writers of the show on Twitter and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of great information they do share. For a little while there, I didn't have Twitter, so I had to get a Twitter so I can keep up with this, because got to stay in the loop. On to the next comment from Roy. Do you think Cobra Kai, Jerry Robertson, will be back, or in any of the younger characters will be related to him? My idea and thought on that, Roy, is I would say no. I don't think that he'll be back, but I guess I can't say for sure, because there's not anything to really go on any of these tweets or any of these like theories out there. Now you can go on to like some crazy fan theory like websites and stuff, and people like debate it, and they'll go into some crazy details of that. I was looking it up to kind of get some better knowledge of what might be out there to see if I could find any facts for us on that question, Roy. But as far as I could find, no. And if there's going to be anybody one of the younger characters related to him, I wouldn't rule it out, because there's no telling who, as the show goes on, we're going to see was related to this other person, yada, yada. And then they might not be. Like I said, with the show, not everybody has to be related, and I fully stand by that, too. It's like, for a TV show, you can't just coax off of the old movies to keep it going. You have to add your own new stuff to it, and these writers are brilliant at that. So I don't think they're going to keep bringing back people constantly. I think they're just going to bring back key people here and there, and the whole everybody being related, I don't think needs to actually happen. But at the same time, if they can't bring back Jerry for any reason or something along those lines, then maybe they would make one of them related to him, and maybe not. I want to know what you all think watching, though. You think that's a possibility of him coming back, or maybe someone being related to him in the future season, or even season 3 for instance? On to the next one. Did Daniel's mom find out that him and Mr. Miyagi opened a bonsai store? I would imagine his mom knew about it. I mean, it's got to be something Daniel's talked about and brought up. I mean, obviously you hear Amanda bring it up, and him in the Cobra Kai, so it's like, imagine that's something his mom would have to know. How would be the, I guess, interesting question there. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I could expect that she probably knew in some way. On to the next one from Quiet Lightning. Do you think Johnny will dominate Kreese in the second fight? At first, I thought what most people seem to think, Johnny would get a few good hits in on Kreese before going on to lose badly. I'm considering a different angle. Kreese's students will have to stop Johnny from killing him. Kreese's philosophy is that Cobra Kai is a unit and would not feel much humiliation watching his loyal students tear Johnny to pieces. Ready to kill for him in this instance. Perhaps Kreese, after catching his breath, will feel joy and order the Cobra Kais to spare Johnny, further turning the psychological edge in Kreese's favor. I wonder if you've also considered this idea. Thanks for commenting that one, Quiet Lion. I have had some kind of similar, not exactly like how you thought of it, but I have had similar ideas of wondering how that would play out. Now, I think that given the circumstances, I think Johnny could have a huge advantage against Kreese if it's just a one-on-one fight and, neither one of them are playing dirty or nothing along those lines. But the way Kreese fights, I could see him getting the overhand of Johnny or taking him down, and then actually I could very well easily see him ordering his students to attack Johnny. And that might be like their way of his way of like showing their loyalty to him, you know what I mean? Because obviously Johnny started training them. Now he's the sensei of the dojo, so I could see that as his way of like testing them basically and seeing who's actually going to be loyal to him and actually would take on their old sensei and, you know, do such a thing. So it's kind of interesting to think about in that way, and I actually like the way you worded it and, you know, explained it. Like I said, I had similar ideas to that, and I actually like the way you opened my mind to something new there, because I didn't exactly think of it in that way, so that I appreciate it. You know, that's it's always awesome to add something new to how you think, and making these videos, that it's very much so done that. We all come up with some great ideas, great answers. You know, we debate about certain things, we don't always agree, but sometimes you open my eyes to new ideas and thinking that I didn't even think about in that way, or maybe I thought about it similarly, but not exactly like that, so it opens it up to a more broader idea, and yeah, I like that. I think it, you know, as a Cobra Kai community, it allows us to just continue growing and share what we feel about the show, what we learn about the show, what we think about might happen, what we know might happen, etc. So on to the next one from Aaron. My past Karate Kid characters I would like to see come back are Julie Pierce, Jessica Andrews, Kamiko, Paul Dugan, and Alpha Elite, Terry Silver, Mike Barnes, as well as Allie Mills. Okay, out of the people that you mentioned, the ones I most want to come back is Terry Silver and Mike Barnes. Those are the two out of the ones you mentioned I hands down want to see them return, whether it's for one episode or a whole season, or even if it's just for a few seconds in an episode. I feel like I would be the most happiest if those two of all those you mentioned return. But if any of them were to return in some kind of a way, I wouldn't exactly be upset. You know, it's good. They're going to make the show interesting, and I'm going to love it regardless of how they throw the new characters, old characters, past characters, etc. So I appreciate you commenting to Aaron all the time. I know you always ask, am I commenting too much? Hell no. Comment as much as you want. I mean, these videos are for us, so if you want to ask 1,000 questions, that's fine. If we have to make it a 2-part video, that's fine, you know. So keep them coming. I don't care. I enjoy sitting here, you know, after a long day of work or whatever, and getting to come home and just enjoy talking about Cobra Kai. And it's like I get to do it twice, you know, because I make the video, and then the more fun part is really when I premiere it, because then it gets us all in the chat and we all can kind of debate the questions as a team, you know what I mean, as a community. So keep them coming. And anybody that's watching, feel free to ask any kind of question. It don't matter. Come up with some crazy theory. It don't matter. Whatever you want to comment, I'm more than fine talking about. On to the next one from Lisa. Cobra Kai never dies. They always stayed so badass. So therefore, Johnny and John Kreese will fight even if Daniel or anybody else is or isn't there. It might even be in Okinawa or any cool spot. I agree, Lisa. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Johnny and Kreese fight. It just seems too, like, in our face for it to not happen kind of situation. Like, it's probably going to happen for sure in season 3, I'm thinking, which I'm actually excited about. Now, I would like to see Daniel and Johnny have a real fight, but at this point in time, I don't think that's something we're going to see. I think the season 3 and maybe even season 4 is going to be about them kind of, I wouldn't say exactly reconciling over what happened, but setting their differences aside for a greater cause. I think that's something we can expect to actually see. Now, I've said it plenty of times, me personally, I'm totally for the rivalry continuing until the end of the show, because I love their rivalry, but at the same time, all good rivalries do have to come to an end, and I get the point of that, and I do understand that there's so many more new rivalries that it's not really needed anymore, and I think that them being a team could add some interesting twists and exciting content for us to all enjoy in a whole different aspect of them fighting with each other. So I'm actually looking forward to see how that plays out. On to the next one. I appreciate your insightfulness and thoughtful answers to my questions. You expanded my view by going beyond anything I have heard to date. Thanks. I feel bad that I gave you all that Japanese to pronounce in my already long-winded questions. Your answers, however, was awesome. No worries, Quiet. I enjoy learning new things, so hey, if I gotta learn how to say another word in a different language or English, I'm open to it. I don't care, and I appreciate your commenting, man. I enjoy the long comments, and I enjoy the short ones. It doesn't matter if you comment a long one or a short one. I enjoy them regardless of the situation, and I enjoy talking about them and having fun doing it. So don't feel sorry for commenting a long, comment or question or idea, and don't feel sorry if it's hard for me to read in some things, because I enjoy it. You gotta learn. I enjoy learning, so it's perfectly fine. On to the next one from Shaggy Daddy. My question There was a lot of Cobra Kai fighters that were in Johnny's dojo that were not there for Kreese, like Bert and Aisha. I know she's not in season 3, but what happened to them? Do they still want to train for Johnny? Do they join Miyagi-Do? Do they join Kreese's Cobra Kai? Or are they never heard from again? You know, that's a good question, Shaggy, and I've actually kind of wondered that myself, because it's like, you know, what happened? Like, obviously some of them randomly left in the, you know, when Johnny first started the dojo, because it was just too much for them, or whatever. But I've kind of wondered this too. I'm assuming some of them maybe just, you know, just left for no reason, because they didn't want to be a part of something that happened with the school fight. Maybe their parents didn't want to allow them to do it anymore. I don't know. That's a hell of a question, really, and it's kind of a puzzling one, because I've kind of wondered it myself, and there's no definitive answers yet. Now, I'm hoping they touch back on that in season 3, to where we kind of understand what happened. I can imagine some of them didn't want to train with Kreese and wanted to continue being loyal to Johnny, so maybe that opens up a door for, like a lot of people speculate, which I don't know if will happen, but if Johnny started a whole separate dojo, maybe with Daniel, maybe training with Miyagi-Do, maybe they will go to Miyagi-Do. I don't know if I see them going to Miyagi-Do, though, in my opinion. I just don't think that could be a case, you know. I just don't think that's something that could happen. But I like the question nonetheless. It makes you think, and, you know, I always love when you guys have questions that are mind puzzlers, best way to say it. On to the next one from Tom Courtney. I love the scene in season 2 when Daniel and Amanda were out at the restaurant and they bumped into Johnny and Carmen, and Daniel and Johnny kind of a bit briefly seemed to put their differences. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that is for sure. And I actually, now that thinking about that, I think that's the scene that Aaron was talking about in the first question, that when you asked the question, and see, I spaced that scene for some reason. So, yeah, I think I kind of remember that happening now. If it's not, I'm sorry, but yeah, onto your question, though. Yeah, that was a really good scene, because they did seem to kind of just put their differences aside, and, you know, that could have been kind of like a teaser and a hint to what is to come in season 3 or whatever, you know what I mean? I wouldn't rule it out as, for sure, not possible. On to the next one from Roy. All the Japanese culture elements in The Karate Kid were from Pat Morita. Although the writers and others had much karate experience, their Japanese culture was only through the lens of an outsider. Pat Morita brought that to the film that otherwise wouldn't have been there. The entire Japanese headband thing was his improvisation, as well as putting it on Daniel when making Sacred Pact. Nice. I love that. And, like, basically you're, you know, sharing knowledge with us. Yeah, that's very interesting to learn. I didn't fully know all of that, but, you know, it's awesome to know. I kind of had speculations on certain things that the Japanese culture and stuff was brought by Pat. So, you know, that's another reason that I miss that, and not just miss Pat, but really wish he could have been alive to be a part of Cobra Kai, because he would have added an extra element to the show that would just put it even over the top and made it even that much more badass, you know what I mean? So, it really sucks that he passed away, you know, but life happens, you know, and there's not much you can do about it. So, makes you wonder for sure. On to the next one from Mitz LeMay. Oh no, I missed the live. No worries, man. We try to do these constantly. I haven't been able to do them daily the last few days because of work life and such, so been busy. But, you know, as we go, we're going to try to get back on our daily schedule and keep the videos coming out so we can hang out and have some fun at night and enjoy these times that are really crazy out there. On to the next one. You deserve more subs, and also thanks for listening to your fans. Thank you, fellow my Instagram. As I've said before, these videos are not just my videos. These videos are our videos, you know. So I want you all to feel welcome to be a part of the videos. Obviously, you're going to be talked about in the videos if you leave a comment. Regardless of the comment, I'm going to talk about it. So, you know, feel free to comment. Even if it's just you saying hi, I'm going to include it in the video, because these videos are specifically for us to, you know, grow as a community and enjoy them as a community. On to the next one. I really want to see some major action from Kreese. You know, that would be... I do too, Tom. I agree, Tom. I want to see more from Kreese. Like, obviously, he's not one of my favorite characters, but I feel like he brings something to the show that's needed, and I feel like as we progress, we're going to see Kreese either get more darker or change. And honestly, my personal opinion is I'm imagining he's going to get much more of an evil mindset than he already has, especially taking Cobra Kai back and, you know, just becoming Kreese even more again. So it's like, what can we expect? You know what I mean? On to the next comment from Quiet Lighten. Looking forward to it. And thank you. And then on to the next one. Great video. Thank you, fellow my Instagram. I appreciate it. On to the comment from Guest Sensei. Great video as always. Sorry was listening while working on a few things. No worries. No worries at all, Guest Sensei and Sensei. I appreciate you always being around and helping regardless of the situation. So, no need to say sorry, man. Y'all two have done more than y'all know for me. On to the next one from Shaggy Daddy. Tori and Hawk. I kind of can see them being a couple. I really can, Shaggy. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I guess it's going to depend, like, if Miguel gets back with Sam, then obviously Tori's going to be upset. We know that Hawk's not with Moon now, so, Hawk's going to be open to a relationship kind of situation, and I could see them two possibly becoming a thing. I don't know exactly that they will, but I wouldn't rule it out in any way. Like, for sure, I'd say it's damn sure possible that we could expect to see something along those lines play out. On to the next one. My favorite episode in Cobra Kai is Season 2 was the restaurant scene. Mine from Season 2... it's kind of a hard debate, really. I love the school fight. Don't get me wrong. I love that episode. And it has so much about it. So I think I'd have to go with that episode. I'd have to go with episode 10. The last episode. What is your favorite fight from Season 2? Or what? Or not fight in general. But what was your favorite episode from Season 2 or Season 1? Feel free to let me know what you think and why that was your favorite episode. Whatever be the situation. My whole favorite episode of the entire show was Season 1, Episode 10. I love the All Valley Karate Tournament. That one was my favorite episode in general. But from Season 2, I'd have to say the school fight. I love the fighting scenes, obviously. I'm, being in martial arts and stuff, I enjoy the fighting and all that. And I've always been really interested in fighting movies, fighting shows, kung fu movies, etc., So, on to the next one from Jim. Cobra Kai Studio. I saw a tweet from the writers in regards to Hawk doing amazing and quick things throughout both seasons. I think that answers in regards to how he beat Miguel to the fight at the end of Season 2 because he's a Hawk. I didn't see that tweet, Jim. Like I said, I'm still new to Twitter, so I got a lot of catching up to do on that whole aspect there. But yeah, I have seen people talk about that tweet, though, and I agree. I mean, there's no telling what we're going to expect from Hawk. There's so many people that are talking about how he's going to go down a dark path, and I see it happening. I see that kind of being Hawk for some reason. I could see him doing some really dark things, whatever that be. I don't know, but nonetheless, I do see some interesting things happening in the Hawk life. So, what do y'all think is going to happen with Hawk? On to the next one from Young Gun. What's up? What's up, Young Gun? Not too much, man. Enjoying the day. Trying to play catch up since work's had me busy the last few days. What if Robbie joins Cobra Kai, but Miguel doesn't know that Johnny is not there no more, so Miguel joins Daniel? I don't know that Miguel would join Daniel, though. I mean, I really, really don't think that that's something we could see happen, I don't. I mean, I feel like if anything, he would just maybe train by himself. But then again, I don't know. But if Robbie was to join Cobra Kai, now that's going to be interesting. Now, if he gets out of jail and does join Cobra Kai, that's going to be kind of a plot twist from hell, in my opinion. And it's going to be different because, like I said, that's going to get, obviously, Robbie on Team Kreese, which would be against his dad, again, in a different way. So it kind of makes you wonder if that's the kind of route that Robbie's going to take in this season. And I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. On to the next one from Aaron. What if Sam asked Johnny to train her karate? I don't think so. Okay, Aaron, I don't see Sam doing that for a few different reasons. Mainly because that was Miguel's, sensei. And I think she would rather give up karate, in my opinion, than learn it from Johnny. But that's just kind of my aspect. If you feel some kind of different way about it, feel free to let me know how you feel about it or what you think. What if Moon and Dimitri get together? Okay, I don't see Dimitri getting with anybody anytime soon. I just don't. And I damn sure don't see him getting with Moon. But then again, that could be a plot twist that could very easily happen. I don't know. In my opinion, I don't see them getting together. But at the same time, if Dimitri was to change, it might happen. They might be compatible in a sense. I like your fan question videos. Thank you, Aaron. I really do as well. I really enjoy making these as well. On to the next one because we're running out of time. Will Moon join Cobra Kai Dojo or Miyagi-Do? I don't know. I would assume if Moon's going to join anybody, she's going to join Miyagi-Do. I really think that that's something that we could expect. But I don't know exactly. But on to the next comment from Young Gun. You should do this with other shows or movies, maybe like Spider-Man 3 or just some other movies or TV shows. Okay, I've had this question asked a few times. I want to know your answers. Would you like me to start a separate channel to just kind of talk about any and every kind of TV show, movie? Just kind of curious what you all think. I'm not saying for sure I would, because I don't know if I'd have time to actually do that. But, I mean, maybe. If enough people would actually like to talk about multiple shows besides just Cobra Kai and, you know, whatever be the case in movies, I mean, I'm open to it. Just let me know what you think is feedback, you know, let me know. But for sure, Cobra Kai Studio is never going anywhere, and all my focus is going to be on this channel, hands down. So if it does happen, it does. If it don't, it don't. But just let me know how you feel about it. If you want me to, then yeah, maybe I might do it. On to the last comment from Roy. I think Julie will take over Miyagi-Do. Besides, she's rich, so she has the time, unlike Daniel. Daniel will be the Soke, not Sensei, as Kreese is not the Sensei, but Soke head of the system of Shota Soki, system founder. A Soki's role is more leadership, philosophical, and ceremonial than hands-on. You know, that's a hell of a way of explaining it, Roy. And yeah, that might actually be possible, you know. A lot of people speculate Julie's going to make a return in some way, and that would be an interesting way for them to actually bring her back into the show and give her, like, a good role in the show, you know what I mean? Like, where she's got more of, like, a lead role. And maybe, I wouldn't rule that out, and I wouldn't think against that one at all. I wouldn't exactly say that might be how it plays out, but I wouldn't rule, like, you know, I wouldn't think otherwise of any other way of her showing up. I mean, I guess that's one way I could think about it. I can't really think of any other way that Julie might actually show back in the show. So it's nice to hear how you all think she might, you know, return to the show, because, you know, I'm kind of lost on how that they might bring her back, and that is a good way to think it might possibly bring her back, you know, and keep her a part of the show, because if she's going to be, you know, teaching, whereas Daniel's going to be like you said, not so hands-on, then yeah, I can see that happening. Well, that's going to be it for this one, everyone. I want to say thank you to everyone watching. Thank you, Bonsai Kai Dojo. I appreciate every one of y'all, and I'll see you on the next one. And as always, stay badass, everyone. Have a good one.